Hello, everybody, and welcome to this live monthly expression session for the month of April, year 2023. Today, what we're going to be doing is going over all of the creative things that I have going on outside of the regular programming for YouTube. So, whereas on this YouTube channel, I usually am posting long form content, shorts, and eventually we'll be posting podcasts relating to our travels and my life as it pertains to our traveling. So things I do while on the road, and destinations that we go to, just general like vlog style content. And then the shorts. Outside of that, I have plenty that I do as far as artistic stuff. And that's what these monthly live expression sessions are going to be covering. So I'm going to be talking about everything that I have going on outside of regular channel broadcasting. Stick around for a live poem. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to actually write a poem on this live stream and then recite it for you all. So I have some things I want to get into. I want to go over before we get into the more bulk of this stream. So first, before we get into what I'm going to talk about mostly on this stream, which is the things that I have going on, such as like fiction, poetry, music, game development. Before we get into all that, I want to mention a couple things. So first, I want to say that future plans for this stream, I'll be doing this stream once a month, each month. This is April's stream. I'll be doing one in May, one in June, one in July, etc., and so on. I may end up doing it more often depending how much I have been producing as far as my art. But for now, this is just to catch everyone up on what I've been doing since I've have kind of been a little bit absent in my artistic career, I guess you could say. So I haven't really dropped anything in a long time, and I want to talk about why. Also talk about what I have been working on and what I hope to be bringing to you all soon. Every month I should be doing this. I used to do a Facebook Live show called Singing Songs, Rhyming Rhymes, and Speaking Speaks. And this is basically going to be that. I would sing songs that I wrote with a guitar. I would recite my poetry, and I would talk about things and try to kind of brighten your day because my art is all with a positive bent. So I would try to bring sunshine into your life, into your day. So that's what this monthly stream is going to be, and it should be brought every month. If I don't, you can feel free to comment on this one or the last one that I've dropped and say, where are you last month? But I'm hoping to be here every month. So what we're not doing today, I want to mention what we're not doing. I've been recently doing a live coding experience on this channel with these live streams. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. I'm going to be taking my coding and doing that outside of the stream. I still am working on those games and that positive digital gaming experience that I was working on, but I'm not going to be doing that on stream. I feel like it's kind of tangent to, or completely off tangent to the channel focus. So I want to kind of organize the channel. This is where I'll be getting all of my creative things in, and the live coding is going to be done maybe somewhere else, maybe on Twitch, but no live coding on YouTube. And before we get into this, I do want to mention this is live, but if you're watching on the replay, feel free to drop a comment below. I will see those. Hit the thumbs up button, whether live or on replay. That really helps this video get spread a little bit further, and it helps the channel out greatly. If you are live chat is enabled, so feel free to leave messages in the live chat. I'll see those as soon as you do. And I would love to hear from you all. So, I believe that's it for bookkeeping. So let's get into the singing songs, rhyming rhymes, and speaking speaks, I guess we could say. Um, so I want to say that all of my art, everything that I do creative wise, has adopted, or I've adopted into that, a PL4H bent. So PL4H stands for peace and love for happiness. And that's something that my wife and I coined. It's a term that we coined to kind of, instead of peace and love, peace, love, and happiness. I feel like the peace and love creates the happiness. Like you can't be happy without the other two. They all go together, sure, but peace and love comes first. Then we can be happy eternally. So there's peace and love for happiness, PL4H. And all of my fiction that I write, my poetry I write, my music, games that I want to create, movies I want to make based on the fiction, it all stems from this PL4H bent. So I used to write. I've written a ton of poetry, like thousands of poems, and I've released books and published in anthologies, and all of that has been since my determination to produce positive PL4H content. Before that, I was writing poetry that was a lot darker, a lot more on the depressive side of the scale. So I had a realization, literally one moment, where I was like, this is not doing what I want it to be doing. It's not helping me or anyone else. I'm going to start creating positive work. And from that moment, I have not looked back. I have analyzed the situation. I've always, each time, decided just to keep going with the PL4H thing. And so that's where we are now. So everything that I do, from my music, my fiction, my poetry, games, movies, anything that I create, I try to bring it from a place of wanting that eternal happiness for everyone, which requires peace and love. So it comes from a deep place of love for everybody and desire for peace for everybody, and really for the happiness for everybody, but myself included. No one can be happy until we're all happy. At least no one can stay happy eternally until we're all happy. So that's where this comes from. So specific art that I am working on, that I have worked on, just to catch you all up to speed who may have never seen my art before, stuff that I've worked on in the past, and then what I hope to work on in the future. I'll touch on all three of those for each medium. So with music, I'll touch on past, present, future, poetry, past, present, future, and for each one of the mediums that I create in. We'll start with music. So I used to do, as I said, the singing songs, rhyming rhymes, and speaking speaks broadcast live show on Facebook. And that was based on some acoustic guitar songs that I had written, acoustic guitars and vocals, singer-songwriter style songs. And I wrote quite a few songs. I probably got 10 to 20 songs written over time. I stopped doing that, but I will be bringing that back. So in future live monthly expression sessions, I will be bringing the guitar in, and I will be singing songs, new songs, because I feel like I've gotten to a higher elevation on the mountain that I'm climbing to find my voice, my artistic voice. And so I'll be bringing new songs. I probably won't sing any of the old songs I used to sing, though they are good in my opinion, and other people like them too. I'm going to be bringing new songs. I'm going to write stuff before I bring that art to you all on this show, on this monthly live stream. So yeah, what what else? So there's the acoustic songs that I was working on. I've also done a lot of rapping, so positive rapping. It's interesting. I've never really. I mean, I've since. So I released two songs publicly that are for sale, still available everywhere. And during my journey to release those, I did discover a few artists that are in the ultra positive space in the rap game, which I mean, I assumed they were probably out there. I had never found them, but I did find them during that time, and I love their stuff. But uh, I will mention the two artists. One is Toby Raps, which he's more like a feel good artist. He writes like feel good stuff. I do love listening to him. The other one that's more in line with kind of what I write is this artist Jackson Whalen, and he's been around for a long time. He is really deep into the positive space, and he writes great music. I love listening to his stuff. Um, but yeah, so I released two songs, and that was actual release, like produced professionally and released and distributed professionally. I have put out probably 20 other songs in little mixtapes here and there. They're still roaming around on the internet somewhere. I know on some of my old YouTube channels they are there. And yeah, that's the rap. I also aspire to one day have the time to be in a full band. I'm a drummer. I've been playing the drums since I was young, so that's something that I love. I would love to do. I've been in bands temporarily here and there, and it's so fun. Something I really want to do. So that's music. What I'll be bringing to you all from that music is the acoustic guitar songs, and whenever I release new music from whatever genre, I will mention it here. So this is where to come to hear about any of my music, as well as any of my other art. This is where you want to be every month. So if you subscribe to the channel, then you will be notified usually on when I go live, especially if you turn notifications to all. And that's how you can be aware of these monthly live streams, because they're not going to be on the same date every month. Just going to be one in each calendar month. So for music, let's go to fiction. Next is one of my, I guess I could say one in my envisioning of PL4H, this is one of the more powerful mediums that I create in terms of effects. So I feel like my fiction can really bring my purpose to the world to a much greater degree than my poetry or my music. Of course, it's a lot harder to finish a whole fictional work and put it out there than for music or poetry, which is why I have never released something full length in the fiction space. I have gotten close to finishing multiple books, but as I didn't see a path forward to a publication and release, I did not finish them, and they're sitting in an archive in my private library, I guess you could say, of things that I'm working on. So I have multiple books, which we'll talk about later, maybe in this stream, if not in a future stream. But I have multiple full-length fictional stories that I've been working on that are kind of on the back burner for now, but will be worked on eventually. This is what really the bread and butter of my PL4H mission. This fictional work is what I really want to get done and released, distributed as wide as I can. But for now, I write short stories and compilations of short stories or short pieces. And I have probably, I'm going to say 5 to 10 full-length either compilations or single stories that I've worked on, progressed on pretty far to the point where it could be worked on for a few more months and then released in any one of them. But takes let's just say fiction takes a lot of money and effort and energy to even publish it, and then to distribute it is even more so. So I need to find the energy, and not so much energy, I need to find the time and resources financially to do that. um, that's fiction. Moving on from fiction, let's go to poetry, which is the one that I have probably, if you know me for any of my art, it's probably the poetry. Maybe music, but probably poetry. I have released multiple books. I've been published in a couple anthologies. I've posted my poetry all over the internet and written thousands of poems. Ever since converting to the PL4H mint, as I keep calling it, mint, like niche, I guess you could call it. But since I've converted to that PL4H mint, I've probably written 700 poems, maybe 800, 900, 1,000 maybe, at least 700 poems. And I self-published a full-length book called Operation Fill the World with Positivity, a rope of hope and guidance. And that was 212 poems that I wrote specifically. It wasn't a compilation. I wrote this specifically for this piece. So it's one book, one piece of 212 poems. Then afterwards, I wrote another 60 or so poems, which I will re-release as part of a later volume of this book. But that was the first thing that I ever really released, and it was hard copy. And then I went on to publish. So I published 3 ebooks aside from that hard copy. The ebooks are the Operation Fill the World with Positivity ebook, a Happiness Factory ebook. That was another. It was 50 poems that I wrote and published all together specifically as one piece. That was called Happiness Factory. And then one was a compilation of poems that I wrote and published to an Instagram page with a friend. And we collaborated on every poem that we published. So we each had a part in each poem. And that was another 100 poems published in an ebook, plus the other poems that we put on the Instagram page. I've since taken all of those projects offline. You can still find the poems from the Instagram page. They're still on there. It's called Elysian Poets. And those poems are still there, but you can't buy any of the work anymore. Because I want to re-release it, I feel like it needs some updating, and I don't think it's as relevant as I meant it to be, as evergreen as I meant it to be. I wanted it to be, every poem I write, I want it to be relevant forever. I think that might be the struggle of the artist, is to find something that's relevant forever. But I feel like with PL4H, it can be relevant forever if you do it right. And I just felt like those works weren't as relevant as I hoped them to be. So I want to redo them and release them one day. Speaking of poetry, I am going to be writing a live poem on this live stream. So I have pulled up on my screen, which I'll share when I get to this. I have my notes folder pulled up, my notes file, and I will be writing for you live a poem just to show you my process, how I go about creating poetry. It really flows quick because it's something I've dedicated a lot of time and energy to. It's also, I feel like, come a lot quicker and easier since I've started writing positive stuff. So I kind of want to highlight that if you're working on positive things, life is just a little bit smoother. But before we get to that live poem, there's a few more things to mention of my creative works, and I know it's a lot. It's really I have really dedicated a large part of my time, energy, mind to creating, especially in this positive space. But I always wanted to be an artist of some sort. And so the other things I want to mention, game development. I'm working on an eventual project, which is sort of metaverse-esque, but then the current metaverse iterations that are available online, private ones, I would say mine is a lot better. I would hope most people would think that about their own, but I do think that about my own. And it's not some money grab. It is literally to help people live better lives outside of the experience, but also have a good time enjoying the digital experience. So that's what I'm working on. But in the meantime, I'm working to build my development skills. So I'm working on some, as they call it, crap games. You can actually watch the whole process of where I'm at this point, up to this point, on my previous live streams on this channel, the replays. I was doing this game development live, but I feel like it's a lot of airtime for something that really doesn't so much relate to the rest of the content on my channel. So I want to kind of separate them, and I want to do that outside of the channel and bring that to you on this monthly live stream without doing the work here. I also feel like I can spend more time on it outside of the streams. And then two more things. Movies based on my fiction. I want to eventually, once I finish the books, the stories, and publish them, I want to make movies about them. I want to be in the creative process for those movies as well. I want to direct them. And then the grandest venture that I'm on for PL4H, I want to eventually make theme parks. That's something I've always envisioned wanting to do. I've always dreamed of creating my own theme park. And when I started writing when I started writing fiction, it just kind of made sense to me. I was like, this book could be a perfect theme park. So I want to do that one day. Anyways, with that, I hope you're all caught up. And in future streams, I will be doing a lot more entertaining. So I'll be reading poetry, reciting poetry, and singing songs with my guitar. But for this one, I just wanted to kind of catch you up on where I've been, where I'm at. With that, let's open up this Notes app. And I'm going to write a poem for you all. So this is kind of how I do it. I'm not going to talk through it. I'm just going to think and write and read it out loud as I write, and then I'll recite it when I'm all done. Right now we have Untitled Poem. And let's see. Just a forewarning, I do shuffle through this pretty quick. So there's not going to be so much talking. It's more going to be, I'm going to be almost mumbling, thinking out loud the words that I'm going to say. Here we go. A poem for you, my viewers. To my viewers, for my viewers, this poem is true. It's content truth, not garbage. as I channel these words, channel these words from my mind, my heart, to my mind, and body. One day they will be heard, and you can attest to the fact that they flew. Through the universe, to me, to this page that you see. PL or H. Estimates to truth. That's all, folks. A poem for you. For my viewers, this poem is true. It's content sooth, not garbage spewed. I channel these words. From my heart to my mind they fly. One day they will be heard, and you can attest to the fact that they flew. Through the universe, to me, to this page that you see, PL4H, a testament to truth. That is Untitled Poem 1. And I'm not going to be writing poetry, just so you know. I'm not going to be doing this live on every live stream. I just wanted to kind of bring you my process, show you like kind of how it comes out. But in future live streams, I'm going to be bringing my poems that I write outside of the live stream, and I'm going to recite some for you. I'm going to sing some songs. I'm going to talk about positive, beautiful things and all the art that I create outside of my regular channel broadcast, the vlogs, the short form content which relate to the vlogs, and an eventual podcast or more than one podcast. But for now, that's all I have for you all. So I want to say what we did today. We talked about what I have going on, and I really wanted to kind of get that out there. I feel like I've not been as present in my artistry for the public as I would have liked to be all this time. I'm going to try to kind of make that change via this live stream, this medium that is live streaming. Next time I'm going to be doing more singing and reciting, a little bit less talking. But yeah, it's every month. So catch me in May at some point. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you can know when I go live. And that's all, folks. Have a great evening, great rest of your whatever day you're watching this on, because you might be watching on the replay. And I will catch you all next time. Peace and love for happiness.